I've sat in front of this camera to make a video, and it just happens. If I'm not reading a lot, I don't make videos, and I only just finished the first book of this year, and it is the almost May, so that's why the videos have been non-existent. But this book I finished yesterday will hopefully kickstart my reading for 2017, and we'll get there. But tomorrow is the 1st of May, so today I'm going to make my May recommendations video, because monthly recommendations is a Goodreads group that was created by Trina from Between Chapters and Kayla from Kayla Rain. And I love making these videos, and I know it's been so long, but I want to get back into it. I want to do it again. So bear with, but let's go with this. The topic for May is contemporary reads, which, if you know me and contemporaries are not best friends. There aren't a huge amount of contemporaries that I love or adore, but the best thing about genres is there is some interpretation to be had. So I'm going to pick some books that are contemporary settings that, for the most part, are very realistic. There is 2 books on this list that are slightly sci-fi, but the core story is very contemporary feeling, so I'm not going to dismiss them because they're amazing. So let's get started. The first one I want to talk about is Openly Straight by Bill Konigsberg, which I don't own yet, which is really frustrating. But Openly Straight tells the story of a boy who goes to a boarding school and decides that he's going to be straight there, as in he's going to pretend he's straight. He's not going to tell anyone that he is gay, basically. And there's this guy, and it's really cute, and that's like all you need to know. It's just really well written, and it's getting a sequel this year, well, a companion in September called Honestly Ben. So I'm very excited for that, but Bill Konigsberg's writing was rather beautiful from what I remember, so that's the one I'm going to mention as an ebook, but it is available in a physical copy. I just don't have one. Moving on, we have we'll do the 2 sci-fi ones now, just to get them over and done with. The first of which is We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson. And yes, this is a little bit sci-fi. I'll admit it is a little bit sci-fi, but it reads like a contemporary, and that's the main thing I want to get at, in the one I want to hammer home, is that the story is much more based around the main character Henry and his dealing with his boyfriend's suicide and how he can move on from that and how he can find love again. And there is this deadline that, well, the world's going to end and Henry has the option to save it, and it's much more looking at why you should save it, and it's just beautiful. It's so well written, it's so funny, but it, like, there's the sci-fi aspect, but I want to hammer home it's very contemporary. Most of the story takes place on Earth, and it's very grounded, it's very realistic. It's just, basically it's like a catalyst for contemporary plot. That's what the sci-fi is. Like, it's just there to help facilitate the character's growth, and I think that's very contemporary theme. It's just a love story, really, and it's tragic and it's beautiful, and I love this book dearly, so I'm going to mention it. The other one I'm going to mention is the book that I finished yesterday, At the Edge of the Universe by Sean David Hutchinson. The sci-fi aspect in this is that the main character, Ozzy, his boyfriend's vanished and he's the only one that remembers him, and the universe is getting smaller. So that's the sci-fi aspect, but that does not play into it at all. Like, honestly, it's hardly a thing. Most of it is Ozzy's obsession with trying to find his boyfriend and how the people he interacts with are just like how they are coping with life and how he can cope with this new reality he's in. And it's like a love story as well. There is love interest and there's friendship, and it's just so good, and it's really upsetting and I cry, but like in a good way. It's such a good book. I laughed, I cried, it's heartbreaking, heartwarming, just majestic. It's a majestic book. And like with the We Are the Ants, the sci-fi aspect facilitates the contemporary plot. The contemporary plot and the characters are like what drive it. but the sci-fi's just there on the edges. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. You don't need to worry about it. Just focus on the characters because they're great. Ozzy's amazing, and yeah, this one. The next two I'm going to mention follow a distinct theme, and that is mental health issues. So the first one I want to recommend is Schizo by Nick Sheff. This follows a boy named Miles who basically is convinced his brother is missing and no one's doing anything to do it, and it's kind of like a shadow over his life. But Miles is schizophrenic, and it's rather dark, very dark. It's a very short book, but what happens to these characters is really sad, and just generally everything that happens in this book's quite sad, but it's like a mystery. There's a mystery, and Miles wants to solve it, so he kind of comes off his pills, and it just kind of goes haywire. So this one, amazing. Then we have one of the first contemporary books I ever read, and that is The Curious Instant of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. This follows a young boy named Christopher. Christopher is autistic, or it's implied that he is autistic or on the Asperger syndrome spectrum, but it's not really defined because it is told from Christopher's perspective, which results in a really interestingly formatted book. But more than anything, it is about Christopher as he kind of discovers something that he shouldn't have, and it kind of leads to a mystery and a journey and an adventure, but beautiful book. I'm not really explaining it very well because the storyline is very mystery dependent, so I don't want to spoil the storyline, but it is incredible, and that's all I can say on it. And the last one should be no surprise if you've been on this channel before, and that is the All for the Game Trilogy by Nora Stakovic. Could you not see it coming? Like, it's a contemporary setting. Could anyone not see this coming? I love this series. It follows a boy named Neil who gets recruited for this college XC team, and XC is like a fictional hybrid of lacrosse and hockey. And basically, that's all you really need to know. And there's so much going on. There is like a criminal aspect, a criminal underworld, a really dark plot. It's character driven. All the characters are really fleshed out and have really good backstories. And just there's no words. Like, the first book is free on Amazon Kindle, and I think anything else. I think it's just free on ebook. Pick it up because it don't cost anything, and it's just so good. The whole trilogy just makes me want to cry because it's so beautiful. And there's like a really, really slow burning love story. And I just love this book, this series. I don't want to go into detail because the plot's really complicated and it's just best to experience it. But you won't regret it. It's just spellbinding. That's the word I'd use. It is just mesmerising. You just want to finish all of them. I've read them twice last year, and I'm gonna read them this year, so it's gonna happen again. I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. So yeah, that was my monthly recommendations video for May. Who knows when there'll be another video. I hope I can get back into this, because I did really enjoy making videos when I was doing it. And who knows, I want to get back into reading, because I have so many unread books now, and I just need to read them, and this is always helpful to get me in the mood for reading. So yeah, I might have another video up soon, but who knows. But I will see you then. Good.